Did with that response. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, we are so very happy to be here. I am the founder and artistic director for DVA Productions, and Arts Fort Worth Community Arts Center, the Arts Council. I consider to be all members of my family because when DVA Productions was producing seasons, we produced our seasons right here on this stage. So it feels like returning home for me. Tonight we are presenting a piece of work that will do the thing that theater is supposed to do. It's supposed to leave you asking questions. It's supposed to leave you questioning your own normal thought process. And I'm going to put normal in air quotes because are any of us actually normal? What is normal? And it's going to make you start rethinking your relationships, the motives behind your relationships, all of those things. It did that for me, and hopefully it'll do that for you. Behind me are some amazing actors that I've had the privilege of working with. I think with the exception of these two ladies, decades. All the way to my right, far right, is David Ruffin. Next to him is Gary Payne. Two characters, you'll get to find out how and why. Bill Haas. Next to him, Randell Robertson. And last but not least, Shaundra Norwood. And to my right is my lifelong partner in crime, goddaughter, marketing assistant. Today she's our moderator, Nikki Washington. Sit back and genuinely enjoy this amazing piece. Thank you so much, Quintin, for entrusting us with it. Thank you. Act 1. Scene 1, living room, present day, August morning. At Rise, a rural two-story farmhouse somewhere in Chambers County, Texas. The interior of the farmhouse is European modern with the latest iMac computer. The entrance to the home is between the living room and the kitchen area. In the kitchen area, there is a small dining table with 4 antique mismatched embroidery-covered chairs. A staircase is visible off the kitchen area. Aaron Edmond III, 40 to 45, black male with platinum blonde hair, speaks in the mode of James Baldwin, devoid of a Texas accent, and always dressed in black head-to-toe Giorgio Armani. He sits at a Danish-style desk, despondent as he types. Gerard Toussaint enters, 50 to 55, white male, Dutch debonair, self-assured, speaks with a slight British-sounding accent, and head-to-toe dressed in British luxury brand Dax. He is carrying a cup of coffee with a leather-bound journal.
You've been up since 4.
Couldn't sleep.
Was it our conversation from last night?
Partly.
Partly.
Mostly.
Mostly?
Most definitely.
You didn't seem upset last night.
I didn't strike a nerve until this morning.
A delayed reaction. That's not typical of you.
I wish I didn't know.
And yet, you suspected.
I was aware of the probability.
And yet, it didn't make a difference to you 2 years ago or altered our union. I didn't hide my true self from you. I'm not a master.
Master?
Master of deceit and deception. I haven't changed. You want to believe I've changed. You want to ignore the truth.
The truth.
The truth that you knew all along that the main reason I was attracted to you and married you is because you're black. What makes what I said so indigestible to you is the plausibility that my skin color played a role in your attraction to me.
It's different.
Different?
Different.
How is it distinctly different? Our predilections are similar. The only divergence is I know the origins of my infatuations and why your color captivates me. You, on the other hand, are searching for the reason why you're attracted to white men. But attraction is not explainable or controllable. I don't understand why you deny your attraction. I'm exactly the type of man you'd aspire to marry from your HTB tour. Now, HTB tour, that's the husband-to-be tour. That's how Aaron Edmund III and I met. I'm Gerard Toussaint. I'm Dutch, not French. I do speak French. I also speak German, Italian, and of course, English. How else could we communicate? The tour started in Milan, where Aaron was living and working with Giorgio Armani. You probably can't see it the way he is dressed now in his mourning attire, straight from the opening of The Seagull. Medvedinko says, "Why do you always go around in black, Masha?" And Masha replies, "It's in mourning for my life. I'm unhappy."
I disagree with that caricature.
It's my aside. Don't interrupt. Where was I? Oh, yes. Aaron traveled in August by train. His first stop was Zurich, where he had previously met a dashing blonde, blue-eyed, hairy-chested vegan who wore cotton shoes. The relationship went nowhere because it would have involved Aaron renouncing his love of hamburgers and designer leather shoes. Now, Aaron was willing to give up the burgers, but he couldn't let go of leather. The next stop was Frankfurt.
Oh, do we have to go there?
That was the next stop, a pivotal stop, Frankfurt on Main. The story wouldn't be complete without Frankfurt, where you sat for hours in front of Westenstrasse 1, a skyscraper. Aaron was hoping to catch a glimpse of his ex-German Deutsch bank boyfriend, sandy blonde hair, blue eyes, firm, semi-hairy chest, a wife, and 2 children. The relationship was full of complications and complexities. It exposed Aaron to his first taste of true love and his fear of commitment. Raison d'être, reason for being. You'll see a pattern emerge. Not a healthy pattern. Nevertheless, a pattern. Next stop, Amsterdam, where Aaron met me.
Can I interject?
N'est pas. I edit your work. You don't edit mine.
Nevertheless, they need to know that human drama is my aphrodisiac. I'm codependent regarding a tragic story and a broken heart. I find that the most tragic characters tell a more compelling love story.
Is that how you see us? A tragic love story? There's no seagulls flying overhead.
You don't hunt.
Except that I fish. I fish you out in Amsterdam, the city of canals, coffee shops, and dikes. Not dikes. Where being gay is more reasonable than being straight. That's where we met, at a bar. His third stop of a 5-city tour. As you can see, blonde hair, blue eyes, semi-hairy chest. I satisfy Aaron's criteria, which he laid out before his trip. The next stop would have been Hamburg, followed by Munich, where he anticipated a threesome with a couple he met online.
I cut the tour short. On paper.
On paper? Visually.
Visually. Gerard was perfect.
Parfait.
Perfect. He made me forget
The German.
the journey.
We met on a Wednesday night.
It was a Thursday.
Wednesday, it's my story.
It's our story. Thursday. I was alone.
You were standing by the window with your blonde hair, dressed in your usual morning attire, even in August. I don't remember the moment, but there was a moment when I just knew.
My hotel wasn't but a 15-minute walk from the bar.
We couldn't wait.
We didn't walk.
We ran.
I was faster. only happens when I'm nervous.
It happens. It was nice to have the excitement and expectations over with.
We settled into those moments of sharing.
We had a chance to talk.
Well, what have you been doing on your sabbatical?
Besides picking up an attractive man in a bar, nothing. That's the beauty of the sabbatical. You don't have to do anything. You get paid to enjoy life. And has your holiday been productive?
Surprisingly eventful. I was wondering if you would have breakfast with me.
Breakfast?
Lunch?
Dinner? I was thinking of all three.
Your request may seem superfluous.
Hasty, maybe. Exorbitant, always.
They start to have sex. Gerard collapses on top of Aaron III. Gerard hugs Aaron III as tightly as the light slowly fades. The light slowly rises. Aaron III and Gerard begin to dress.
What is this fabulous job that allows you to take a sabbatical?
I'm a producer.
Television or film?
Theater.
Theater?
Theater. I work for the Vandenberg Theater Company. I studied opera at Amsterdam University. After graduation, I went to live in Vienna, where I worked for the Vienna Opera. I grew tired of the divas, so I went to work for Münchner Volkstheater in Munich, Germany, where I got my first taste of straight play theater and met Stein Vandenberg, the Dutch financier. As the Euro banknotes were launched on the internet, Vandenberg started buying up old theaters as an investment opportunity. He saw untapped profit margins in the theatrical sector, and he needed producers for his new investments. I moved back to Amsterdam to produce his first play, Art.
I graduated from Southern Methodist University with a business degree when George W. Bush was a competent governor of Texas. I left Dallas and moved to New York City before there was a whiff of a presidential library. I worked for several different retail operations in the city before landing a job at Hugo Boss as the merchandising planning manager for the U.S. market. My Keyton fashion eye led to my transfer to the company's headquarters in Stuttgart, Germany.
Aaron likes Germans and Germany. It's the order and structure, but he didn't like their style.
The last original look Hugo Boss created was the Nazi uniforms for the Second World War. But south of the Alps lies Dernier Cri.
The latest fashion.
You're interrupting me.
I'm translating. Not everyone speaks French.
Giorgio Armani. Creme de la creme of the fashion industry. I took a position with the company from my old manager from Hugo Boss, Tyrinika.
Is she relevant to the story?
No, God.
Du sprichst besser Deutsch.
Ich weiß. There's a moment when you just know. It's usually in the dark. The only sound you hear is the breathing of the person next to you. You know it's love, but you're afraid to be the first one to say it.
The discussion of marriage took place during dinner at my apartment on Kaisergracht.
Overlooking a canal.
Obviously, on the last night of Aaron's holiday, the Aaron prepared the meal, a roasted chicken, a fennel, carrots, and for dessert, a white chocolate sweet potato souffle with a creme anglaise. Aaron prefers to cook French instead of Italian. It has something to do with cooking pasta and sex.
I never found an Italian penis to be al dente enough, even after 7 minutes. Within 8 months, the wedding date was set. I picked the day.
June 19th.
It had a personal, historical significance. In 1865, on that day, the slaves in Texas found out they were free. It was a subconscious reminder that I was marrying a white man.
I'm Dutch.
You're still white. I tell myself, skin color doesn't matter. When I look at Gerard, I don't see his color. My eyes see Gerard, but somewhere behind the eyes, I do see his color. I'm not blind. I tell myself to shut it out. Believe in Shaundra Rhimes' worldview where interracial couples exist like any other couple without the issue of race.
Mothers pass the gene color blindness to their sons. I don't see browns or greens. That's why I don't own a brown suit. But I do see black and white. I like black men. I can't explain it. I'm not sure it's explainable. When I see Aaron, I see his color. I'll never stop seeing his color. That's why I wanted him. For his color. That may make me sound like a racist, but I'm not. I think it's disingenuous to deny that you don't see color. It's foolish to believe that the world is colorblind. I'm not a racist.
Well, I didn't think you were. I don't picture you goose-stepping or wearing khaki. You don't have the skin tone for khaki.
My comment wasn't racist. You think I'm a racist, or it's racist because I married you only because you're black. How is that racist?
I don't know, but it feels, it sounds racist. You've eliminated entire races of men because of the color of their skin. What about Asian men?
What about them? I don't have yellow fever. Men are like a dessert cart. There are many different varieties of desserts to choose from. Dutch apple pie, stroopwafels, your favorite. Butter biscuits, my favorite. You try a dessert because of how it looks, and once you taste it, you know what you like. Why deviate? I love you. I love you because you're black. I find your colors sexually stimulating, but that doesn't make me a racist.
You see my color first, then you see me.
Why does color have to be the second and not first?
It marginalizes my existence.
Only you can do that.
You're not black.
I'm aware of that. I read books, I watch the History Channel, and I'm fucking you. That's about as black as I'm going to be. Do you still want me to edit your play? The play. That's why we're here, a year and a half later. As you can see, this doesn't look like a Dutch apartment on Kaisergracht overlooking a canal. We're far, far, far from that canal. Aaron relocated here 3 weeks after our honeymoon to his birthplace, Texas, the land of pickup trucks and cowboy boots, where a BMI of 25 or higher is the norm.
I gave it up. The glamorous life of fashion shows, my weekends on Lake Como where a cappuccino was a hearty breakfast.
To my surprise, while we were still commuting for our weekend conjugal visits and planning our wedding, Aaron was secretly applying to universities in the USA to obtain an MFA in creative writing, to become a playwright. I didn't realize Aaron had such talent or that he wanted to be a playwright until I stumbled upon an open box.
The box was closed. Your stumbling was a metaphor, not an actual event.
All right, I was nosy, so sue me. Inside the closed box, I discovered 20 plays that Aaron had written. 4 for conjugal weekends, for 4 conjugal weekends and heated wedding negotiations. I read them. 6 were awful, dreadful in fact, amateurish, earlier works, I presumed. 7 were good, promising. He was developing his voice. 4 captured my interest. I saw talent. 2 were moving, page turners. I couldn't wait to finish. But the last one was a true work of art. It was brilliant.
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 Commercial.
When a play is commercial, you bring it to Vanderburg. Bring it to Vanderburg. Bring it to Vanderburg.
Did Did you hear something?
It was the wind.
Thought it was God?
You don't believe in God. I didn't tell Aaron his play was commercial or that it was ready to be workshopped, which meant it could move quickly into production.
Why didn't you?
The play was about
The German.
an indelible memory. The play was a dissertation on Aaron's love for the German, which was arduous for me to read. I would have preferred a sonnet, 14 lines of poetic meter, but not a play. Not a play. 110 pages of love, copyrighted love. I'll never forget the title of the play. I love you, I don't care, disgust. Why not disgust? D-I-S-G-U-S-T instead of disgust. D-I-S-C-U-S-S-E-D.
Well, it was an artistic decision. Homophones.
Two words that sound alike but have different meanings and different spellings. It was the I love you that I understood the meaning. If the play were to be produced, those three words would be across a marquee in big, bold letters, a part of the marketing campaign on programs, t-shirts, and coffee mugs for the world to see.
Bring it to Vanderburg. Bring it to Vanderburg.
I keep hearing God, but with a Dutch accent. I didn't tell Gerard about the applications because it was a low residency MFA program, which meant I could live anywhere until I finished my thesis.
His thesis.
There's an order to the story.
There's a sequence to the events. Tell them.
My Aunt Regina,
Is that Regina?
my favorite aunt.
Your only aunt. She hates me.
She hates white people in general.
Aunt Regina enters, 80s, a black female who looks younger than her age, dressed in her Sunday's best, Giorgio Armani.
I haven't found good use for them.
You didn't come to our wedding.
I'm on fixed income.
I bought you a plane ticket.
I didn't have the time.
You're retired.
I'm afraid to fly.
You flew to Israel 2 years ago to visit the Holy Land.
They're Jews. They understand the suffering of black people. They suffer just as long as we have. I know why Gerard likes my nephew. It's written all over his face. He's those kind. Gerard likes the novelty of opposites attract, black and white. James Baldwin said it best. I don't like people who like me because I'm a Negro. Neither do I like people who find an insane accident grounds for contempt. I detect a note of contempt in the marriage, but Aaron is too blind and willful not to see it. Notes from a native girl.
Aunt Regina, it's what you don't see that I see. It's the uncut
Uncut?
I'm European.
nature of Gerard's personality that I find attractive.
What's so attractive about an extra layer of personality? It's not like it's your first, but I find it better to have everything out in the open, pulled back, visible, exposed. How else can you see the true nature of the man? I sweet talked Aaron into writing the story of how white folks stole our land back in 1927. 100 acres of #1 white, James McGahey. Mexico sold the land to my great-grandfather, Washington Edmund, in 1829, a free black man from the great state of Maryland.
No one told me the story that my family had once owned a vast amount of land. It wasn't a subject discussed around the dinner table, like my grandfather Aaron Sr., who died in 1965 before I was born. He was another subject never discussed. My family didn't like to discuss the past, especially my grandma Minnie.
Black folks' past ain't worth talking about, because nothing good happened in our past. So you don't talk about the past, because you can't keep reliving the pain.
So, when my Aunt Regina finally told me the story, I felt no obligation to write a land drama, but I reluctantly agreed. I didn't see acreage as poetic meter. I had no passion for soil, but I thought maybe a historical narrative had a chance at
Production.
production.
The fate of being a black playwright Who will produce your play? It's also the obstacle of being an unknown.
Productions are common for black playwrights. Not rare, but it seems a rarity that black playwrights are produced. But it does happen. I have a few options.
You have me.
Yes, I have you. I wouldn't have to start at the bottom and climb my way to the top.
You like being on top, especially that weekend in Munich.
Oh, 52 hours of looking down on you.
Your favorite position of self-control.
But that position only gains me your approval. If you were to produce my play, there would be an asterisk alongside the production. Questions would arise surrounding how I achieve a production. It would be attributed to my status as your husband and sexual positioning, the insertion of the penis, yours or mine. That's why I needed an MFA. I had to dispel everyone's doubts on all levels about my capability as a writer, and the placement of a penis wasn't the key to production. I had planned to move to Amsterdam and write my thesis there. But I couldn't imagine my verbal scribe, Aunt Regina, flying back and forth between Houston and Amsterdam. And with her limited access and incapability to trust the internet, FaceTiming was out of the question. To my bewilderment, I inherited the family farm 3 years ago from my grandma Minnie.
My mama was 102 when she died. A senile woman, cutting me out of her will. That boy didn't deserve this house or the land, but the lawyer I went to told me I didn't have a leg to stand on.
Grandma Minnie's will was airtight.
Mama wrote it over 30 years ago. She signed the will the day she kicked me out of her house. She eventually let me back in to take care of her sorry ass, but it's the same. Grudgingly, I handed Aaron a set of keys to the farmhouse.
I had free room and board. Thus, the reason why I moved back to Texas for 2 years.
2 years? Huh? I wasn't dragging Aaron the third, kicking and screaming out of his Giovanni's room in Europe. Aaron, deep down, wanted to come home. I was his last living relative, his connection to his past, the one who understood him best. My brother Aaron Jr. didn't care for his son. His baddie wife, what's her name, she didn't understand his sister nature. That's why Aaron stayed away for so long, and I accepted his rationale to escape to walk to college and to leave this podunk town and never come back. I tried my best to bridge the family divide while Aaron was living in New York City. His tormented soul started to heal after his parents' fatal car crash on Fairbanks Curve. I strived to make amends for their behavior after their death, to be a mother to the child and help the boy try to forget how cool they were, but my mama being who she was, she pushed Aaron III out the door every time he came home to visit, which was once a year. She told him he didn't need to come home, that she was just happy to receive his letters and phone calls. Mama kept him away from the family, but the family was only me and her. You don't have a home until you leave it, and then when you left it, you never can go back. I love me some James Baldwin. That's how I learned to value my nephew. I saw the benefit of his creative mind, a moldable asset that I planned to use to get #1 white James McGahey finally back.
I didn't like the story. Another treatise to be discarded. I thought the plot line was derivative, and Aaron's cuddling of the family's land narrative impetuous. I was hesitant to let Aaron move to Texas because I'd grown tired of those romantic getaways of our courtship when we met in countless cities, Paris, Vienna, Munich, Zurich. Zurich. But there was always a clock ticking. Tick-tock, tick-tock, reminding us we had 52 hours to fuck. Tick-tock, tick-tock, before we hopped on separate trains, returned to our empty apartments and beds, where we'd continued to jerk our chafed penises over FaceTime. I didn't want another iteration of regulated and timed sex or the notion of jetting across the Atlantic Ocean for 7 hours of booty calls. I didn't see any strategic benefit in Aaron's relocation or writing of his play until I started to redecorate.
Gerard wanted to trash my parents' furniture. Family heirlooms.
4 mismatched embroidery-covered chairs.
Those chairs have been in our family for over 8 years. My mama did the embroidery herself. I may not own this home, but I still had influence. And I wasn't going to let Gerard throw out the baby with the bathwater while I was still around.
I had the cushions cleaned and restitched to calm Regina down before your personality gets twisted into her usual aneurysm. To my astonishment, like Meep Geiss, who retrieved Anne Frank's diary pages, I found pages and pages of a journal, hidden underneath those embroidery-covered kitchen chairs. A love story, an interracial love story. It could have been our story, Aaron's and mine. As I read more of the journal, I became optimistic. I saw a tactical advantage to Aaron's illumination of writing a play. I could produce this love story through Vandenberg Theater Company, giving Aaron his first taste of a production. Production. That's the word Aaron wanted to hear.
You promise?
I promise. I promised. I promised Aaron that I'd produce his play if he would change his thesis. I had the pages bound in a leather book, and I presented it to the returning surviving family member. Regina, isn't it time for you to go?
I just stopped by.
You're always stopping by.
I'm trying to keep the story straight.
And Aaron knows what story to write.
I'm not so sure. Aaron is naive, defenseless against any extra layer of personality, vulnerable to its treachery.
You flatter me, but I'm not Mephistopheles.
You're a white man with an agenda. Of course, you're the devil agent. You don't have a soul.
Aaron, the coincidence of your grandmother's past action could be the manifestation of your present-day attraction to me.
So, it's part of my genetic code, my attraction to white men.
It could be a justification. Did the German ever confess to you that he was attracted to you because you were black?
I don't recall.
Were you afraid of the answer?
No. I was afraid of the question.
Aaron III picks up his script and hands it to Gerard. When Gerard opens the play, the past appears. We are now in 1947. Scene 2, kitchen, March 1947, evening. Minnie enters, 20s, a black female, wearing a printed dress with yellow daisies. She is reading a stack of documents.
Aaron, get down here.
Woman, stop your howling. You wake the children.
I gave them the medicine. The children will be out in the morning.
Oh, you need to stop that shit.
Don't tell me how to raise our children. I didn't want them running around screaming when we got things to discuss.
You shouldn't be.
A teaspoon of whiskey and sugar in their milk ain't gonna hurt them.
You didn't give them my good whiskey, did you?
I didn't want to deal with their heads hurting in the morning. Of course I gave them the good stuff. I'm not a bad mother. It'll be me dealing with Regina and Aaron Jr. crying about their heads hurting. They'll be out in the field. You'll be out in the field. I didn't have time to be nursing them children. I gotta clean and cook for Miss Diane. She's having another silly dinner party for Mayor Jenkins. She wanted me to cook fried chicken. Like fried chicken is so special. Everybody knows that she and the mayor are having a party of lust.
Woman, where is my blue shirt?
Aaron, get your black ass down here. We need to get these papers signed and back to Mr. Daniels, the lawyer, by tomorrow.
I don't see my blue shirt.
You're not looking. It's right there in front of you.
How do you know what's in front of me? You ain't up here.
I don't need to be. The damn shirt is hanging on the back of the chair. If a blind snake was there, it would have bitten you. I'm not in the mood to be dealing with your foolishness.
Ah, woman, you put too much starch in my shirt. It's gonna cut my throat one day. I can't even button up the top button.
I ain't gonna kill you until you sign these papers, you crazy ass fool. There's no need to hide upstairs. These papers got wings, and my black ass is gonna fly up there and make you sign these damn papers.
Aaron Sr. enters, 50s, a tall black man who looks older because of the long hours of working as a field hand.
I ain't signing shit. I think I drew blood on that damn starch you put on my shirt.
That's how Miss Diane wants me to iron Mr. Bill's shirts.
I'm Mr. Bill.
You need to sign these papers, and it could be you can be as rich as he is.
Where's my supper?
After you sign this paper, I file up a check.
It's supper time.
And our life is living easy after you sign these papers.
Woman, I'm hungry. If you hadn't let that cracker into my house tonight, I'd be eating my supper. What you been doing since he left?
I've been rereading these papers. There's some funny words which I'm not sure what they mean, but what I get from the document is that you still owe 100 acres of #1 White James McGahey.
I told you, I ain't signing them damn papers.
Are you crazy?
I'm saying as a white man at a lynching. I sign those papers, that's what they do to me.
You stubborn asshole fool.
You know my good qualities when you married me, so stop your complaining.
Aaron, Mr. Daniels said millions.
Woman, I heard the man. I ain't deaf, and you sure wasn't blind. Oh, can I get you a cup of coffee, Mr. Daniel? It's fresh, Mr. Daniel. Damn coffee wasn't the only goddamn thing that was fresh. Look at you, all gussied up in your new dress.
It ain't new, it's some hand-me-downs from Miss Diane.
Well, don't you save her dresses for special occasions in church?
I do, but don't you start with me, Aaron Edmund. I didn't want to look like a maid. My pa taught me how to entertain, to properly dress for company, to be a lady, to make people feel at ease, relaxed and home. I wasn't raised out in the country like you, with an outhouse manners. No wonder Mr. Daniels felt uncomfortable talking to you. Didn't even wash up before the man arrived. Meaning a man like Mr. Daniels in field clothes?
Well, I didn't know the goddamn man was coming.
I told you the lawyer was coming tonight. You wasn't listening to me. You don't listen to me half the time. I tried to talk to you.
Tree branch breaks.
Yeah,
I heard nothing.
Tree branch breaks.
there's something coming outside.
It's probably a deer.
Tree branch breaks.
A deer. This close to the house? Aaron, go look. Oh, my Lord.
Woman, it ain't the Lord.
Don't make fun of me, Aaron.
Yeah, next time it might not be a deer. You want me to sign those papers? Knowing the hornet's nest, I'll be knocking down if I do.
I'm thinking about Regina and Aaron Jr. I don't want Regina being a maid like me, or Aaron Jr. working in the fields like you. You sign these papers, we could leave something behind besides this dirt farm. We could give them something that'll change their lives for better. They could get a real education at a proper school. They could even go to college. Our children could become important people. Don't you want that for our children?
You mean you could become important?
Sitting in tall cotton with all that oil revenue? Millions, Aaron, millions.
You think it's that simple? Mr. Bill ain't getting off that land without a fight.
Mr. Daniel said.
Mr. Daniel is a cracker who ruined my supper. He don't give a shit if I live or die.
We can trust him.
Because he drank your coffee. He drank dirty well water if it came from your well.
You got the wrong idea swimming in your head.
I saw how he looked at you.
It was the dress. It's a pretty dress.
He wasn't looking in no goddamn dress. Disrespecting me in my home.
You got it all wrong, Aaron. You don't know how white people do things.
And you do. All I know is white folk don't need to stab you in the back. They let you know the knife is coming. Right in the front. It's simpler that way.
No. Mr. Daniels wouldn't.
Wouldn't what? That cracker ain't doing this for the good of the colored race. He ain't that kind of white man. He doing this out of greed.
It doesn't hurt to dream.
Yeah, make living no easier. We color. We don't dream. We survive.
It's been 20 years. Spoiled your appetite?
It's already spoiled.
Aaron, that won't happen again. Mr. Daniels said he'll protect us.
Ha! Rangers shoot him just as fast as they'll lynch me.
Will you stop saying that?
Lynch! 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 Damn, woman, Mr. Bill ain't gonna give back the goddamn land 20 years later because some lawyer from Dallas say he gonna take the simple, because of some lawyer from Dallas. He gonna take the simple justice approach. That damn, do the damn honor himself and make sure that I get in a good day's work before he put the noose around my neck.
Or Lee met with Mr. Daniel.
Oh, her legs can dangle just in the air, just as good as mine. Has she signed it?
No, she's thinking about it.
Thinking and doing the same thing when you're doing nothing, which is what she gonna do. Minnie, you don't know what you fucking dealing with.
Tell me, Aaron. Help me understand why you won't sign the papers. If your first wife, Leanne...
Woman, I told you, never talk about her.
You tell me a lot of things that I don't listen.
Shut up.
You peeing all over yourself to sign if Leanne asked you to, but it's me. You don't give a damn. These papers are our future, our children's future. It's money in the bank.
There's a lot of deer in those goddamn woods.
I can take care of myself.
Yeah, Leanne could too. Look what he got her.
I don't know if you can forget. I can't imagine what it would be like to see Leanne burned alive with your two sons. Your mom. But how long do you have to suffer for what Mr. Bill's father, Mr. Leroy, did? He wanted your pa's land. He set the field on fire and killed them. Not me. So stop punishing me. It's time to move on, Aaron. I don't ask for much. Half the time. I don't even ask because I know your answer's going to be no. But please sign the papers. If you love me, you'll sign the papers.
If you love me, you wouldn't fucking ask me to. Now burn those goddamn papers.
Aaron Sr. exits. Minnie bends down to pick up the papers. Minnie turns over her chair and untacks the embroidered cover.
Fish in the jumping.
Looking next to the champagne glass and an Italian platter of Eperville delights are on the coffee table. The sound of someone trying to open the back door.
Go home, Aunt Regina. Come back in an hour.
Boy, I protested in an hour. You open this damn door. We need to talk.
I'm trying to finish a scene. Go away. I don't have time for your dribble today.
You better make time.
What the fuck?
When I tell you to open the damn door, you open the damn door. And don't be mishandling me.
Calm down. I know how to wrestle without damaging your Armani.
You thought your little visits would slip past me.
What delusional visits are you talking about?
Nothing gets by me in this town. Nothing.
Aunt Regina,
You niggas are all the same.
wait a
You
minute.
can't keep your dick in your pants.
I'm not cheating on
I'll
Gerard.
spank my own black ass if I'm wrong. You just like your Uncle Earl. He denied his fornication, also even as I watched the horse crawl out our bedroom window.
Aunt Regina, go home.
Aaron, I know a thing or two about marriage. Absence doesn't make the heart grow fonder. Absence makes a lonely dick go looking. A dick likes to look close to home. A lonely dick connects to its sweet past.
I don't have lonely dick syndrome.
That's not what I hear.
Well, you're half deaf.
But I'm not blind. I saw you drive down to Mayor's Ranch Road the other day. How is my old boss, Mr. Vance?
He's fine.
Yeah, he's a fine white man.
Vance.
Vance? Where did you get out calling him Vance?
Well, that's his name.
You ain't in Europe, boy. That should be Mr. Vance. The white folks in this town still live by plantation manners and proclamations. They like to hear Mr. and Miss with their coffee in the morning and yes, sir, and yes, ma'am at dinner time. Using the first name is a familiarity of personal nature that indicates a closeness of a different kind. You probably appreciate your visits because no one goes around there anymore.
Aunt Regina, I don't have time for your inquisitive bullshit today.
The ranch house has been empty since his friend died.
Well, I wouldn't know.
How does it feel to be back in the saddle?
What?
You've been horseback riding.
I have work to do.
I ain't stopping you. You always wanted to be a cowboy. Go on. Work on our book.
Play.
What?
It's a play, not a book.
A book, a play. I don't give a damn what you call it. As long as our book creates the same damn uproar here in Chambers County as the book about the ride in Rosewood, Florida did. That book made white folks in state government feel guilty. Guilty enough to give them black folks $2.1 million. Sweet Jesus! That was some delicious tasting guilt. Without that book, the truth would have been buried about the riot in 1923, and nobody would have known the story. Like Baldwin says, you write in order to change the world. If you alter even by a millimeter the way people look at a reality, then you can change it.
My play isn't about reparations.
Sweet Jesus, fuck that shit. I want the land back. I don't want money, I want land.
It's not that simple.
The book doesn't have to be good, for Christ's sake. I just need you to expose the truth of the Mayor's family stole #1 white James McGahey. I want them to face the public's wrath of their crime and have the state of Texas force the family to return the land back to us. Our family.
Be reasonable, Aunt Regina. That will not
Are
happen.
you questioning my logic? Maybe you're not good enough to write for Texas.
Oh, I'm good enough.
Well, you're not involved.
I'm trying to explain to you that your expectations are irrational.
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 I'm keenly aware of what is going on here. You're afraid to upset your stallion.
Aunt Regina, go home. And leave your keys when you go. We have nothing more to discuss.
He's a fine white man.
Go home.
Fine. Your loyalty to Mr. Vance is misguided, complicated. That complication seems to make it difficult for you to write the truth about the family pilfering our land.
Go home.
But it shouldn't be difficult if you have hate. That's an emotion I found necessary to serve the Mayor's family their dinner and scrub their damn floors. You don't hate because you never had to wear the white dress of Jim Crow slavery, a maid's uniform. The daily reminder of injustice and a stolen inheritance. No. You had sentimental memories of riding bareback.
You don't know my memory.
I know the goddamn truth.
The person who readily confesses the knowledge of the truth is the last one to know the truth.
This may be why the truth remains on a whole so rare.
Don't you read anyone besides Baldwin?
There is no one else to read. Aaron, you don't have to pretend with me that you didn't embrace Mr. Vance's uncut nature.
How do you know his true nature?
Honey, I died for his white ass. I changed whitest, gray, sticky stained sheets. I met young men in the early morning hours, so yeah, I know his nature. And I know yours. You happily unsaddled your horse after every ride without any sign of distress, fear, or emotional trauma. I watched you calmly walk from the bar without any tears in your eyes.
It was a delayed reaction.
I didn't see any tears, but I saw a smile.
Go
A
home.
smile!
Go home.
I know you love Mr. Vance, but he's not family. So you need to brush aside your feelings and forget. That's how you learn to live with falling in love. You forget it ever happened. You need to forget. Write the goddamn book, because that's the only way we'll get the land back. You need to learn, Aaron. The betrayal is a beautiful thing when it's against the rich white man. It has sweet taste. It lingers in the soul. But you don't get to taste it that often, because rich white men are hard to betray. We're close, so close to smacking our lips and tasting that sweet nectar because of your book. So don't disappoint me, Aaron. You stand up and betray that white man. You don't bend down, and you damn sure better not roll over the services needs over your families. Ooh, okay, it's almost time for me to go march on the courthouse steps. Give back #1 white James McGahey. What the hell is this?
Grandma Minnie's journal.
Sweet Jesus.
You didn't know?
Mom was confused, nervous, and tight-lipped. So how in the hell would I know? Last time I saw Mama in a pink casket, lying horizontally in a white dress.
Well, you should recognize the handwriting.
The hen scratches look familiar. But Mama didn't have time for us growing up, so I scarcely believe she had time to write this shit. Where did you find these yellow stained papers?
Underneath the embroidered kitchen chairs.
Oh, you've been unstitching the buried past. Why are you showing me this?
I decided to change my play a few months ago and write about Grandma Minnie and Daniel Jackson, an interracial love story. It will establish me as a playwright. Gerard agrees.
A white man doesn't agree with you unless it serves his purpose. But of course, Gerard agrees. He's romantic about black people. He believes in the fairy tale of love between black and white like you. It's the world you live in. It's the mirror you face every day, but the world is not your mirror. Your book about your grandma will cheapen her life. Destroy it. It will represent her truth. It's not the mama doesn't deserve to be betrayed, and she was a mean and unforgiving woman, but she's still a black woman. Black women have an image of being fast and loose when it comes to sex. To the world, she'll be an unfaithful whore who spread her legs willingly for a white man, not out of love or romance, but for an opportunity.
You haven't read her
I don't
journal.
need to. I know how the world views black women who fuck white men. It's no different from how the world sees you spreading your fucking legs for a goddamn opportunity.
Fuck you.
Aunt Regina throws a set of keys at Aaron III and exits. Aaron III walks to the chase. He picks up the journal. We are thrust back into 1947. Scene 4, kitchen, July 1947, 4 months later, evening. Minnie is sitting at the table drinking coffee. Aaron Sr. stumbles through the back door as he enters. Minnie stands, and she is beginning to show signs of being pregnant.
Coffee?
Don't want no coffee.
I'll pour you a cup of coffee.
Woman, I said I don't want no coffee.
You're drunk.
I ain't drunk.
You're drunk.
You fucking him.
Minnie bends down to pick up the broken pieces of the plate. Aaron Sr. grabs Minnie by the hair. Minnie struggles to free herself from Aaron's grasp. Minnie takes one of the broken pieces of the plate and rubs it against Aaron Sr.'s leg.
Bitch, you cut me.
I'll do more.
I'll beat you in the middle of next week.
You won't.
Is it mine? Is it mine?
I don't know. I think the baby is yours, but I don't know. Who told you?
It's all the time. Give me something for my leg.
Get it yourself.
What the fuck?
I warned you.
You fucking a white man. Is he good? Answer me, bitch.
He's different.
Different? You got a dick. What makes him different?
He sees me.
Well, I'm not blind.
He wants me.
I want you.
You don't want me. You want your dead wife, Leanne.
You're going to leave her out of this.
That's right. That's all I am is a woman, not your wife. I'm a woman, the woman you roll over on top and stick your dick in when you please, but never to please. I'm the one who feeds you, cleans your house, but neither enough is good enough for you. I'm the woman that reminds you that I'm not your wife, but a replacement. But to Daniel,
Daniel.
yeah, I call him Daniel. To Daniel, I'm not a replacement. He's not fucking me, I'm fucking him.
Get out. Get out. Go down to Court League and you get this taken care of.
No, I'm too far along for your herb cure.
Woman,
My name is Minnie. Say it. Damn you, say it! Say it!
Minnie. I ain't raising another man's child.
You don't have to.
You ain't got no money. And I sure ain't giving you no money.
The court will decide that.
The court.
The court.
You signed them fucking papers.
Someone had to.
And you signed my name. Hey, you gonna get me killed.
I'm gonna make us rich, you stubborn jackass. Then I'm gonna leave you. And Daniel and I. What's so funny?
you ain't gonna get shit.
What are you talking about? Daniel filed the papers at the courthouse, and he said it's any day now.
Any day. Any day. Yeah. You miss it.
Missing. I just saw. I don't believe you.
I ain't got no reason to lie. Sheriff just found his car abandoned down on the side of the road outside Liberty.
What about his papers?
Empty briefcase.
What about the money?
What money?
He had $500 with him.
$500. $500? No. Minnie!
Yes,
You did.
I did.
You stupid bitch!
It's my money too.
That's all the money we had. I was gonna buy some land with that money. Damn you!
He needed the money for the case.
What's supposed to be a case? He said what as he put his dick inside you? What the asshole say?
Minnie runs into the kitchen to grab the cast iron skillet. She tries to strike Aaron Sr. with the skillet to ward him off as he approaches her.
What did he say? What did he say as he was counting my money? Did he say he fucking loved you? Did he? I'm gonna beat your black ass like a set of drums.
Aaron Sr. pushes Minnie down as he raises the skillet over his head to strike her. Minnie kicks him in the groin, and Aaron Sr. drops to his knees.
Oh! Get out! Bitch! Get out!
Aaron Sr. crawls to the table as we are thrust back into the present. Scene 5, living room, present day, January, 3 months later, early evening. The ringing sound of an iPhone that dimly lights up the living room to show a Rimowa suitcase open on the floor with clothes strewed all around. Gerard and Aaron ignore the iPhone ringing as they make love underneath the cashmere throw, a bottle of champagne in glass next to the iPhone on the coffee table.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Yeah.
You slipped out.
What?
You slipped out.
I slipped out?
Slide back in.
Back in?
Back in.
In a second.
In a second. It's like riding a horse.
You don't ride.
I ride. Glide back in.
A horse?
A horse.
You ride a horse.
Yes, a horse. It's not a horse-sized dick that I ride. You're still out.
I'm out?
You're out.
You never told me you could ride.
Well, they probably slipped my mind.
A horse-sized dick?
You're still not in.
I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in.
I don't feel it.
Tighten your ass. Yeah.
You stopped.
I stopped.
I didn't come.
I did.
You didn't come.
I came. I know when I come. It was dry cum.
Dry come.
Dry cum.
You're right, you're still having a prostate.
Just because you thrust up against it a few times with your dick.
What do you prefer, my finger?
Don't be pretentious. That doesn't make you an expert on my prostatic fluid.
You faked your orgasm.
I didn't fake it.
You faked it. You're usually a geyser.
More champagne?
I didn't come.
I'll get us another bottle.
I wanted to come.
Well, so finish yourself off.
Well, it's not the same.
There's no difference. You're quick. A couple of jerks.
Well, it's not anymore.
I've noticed.
It bothers you?
It's an anomaly that breeds suspicion.
Oh, I'm not having an affair.
All signs point to your infidelity.
Because I'm no longer quick on the draw.
Among other things. Maybe it's the Texas refinery-filled air you breathe that has lessened your condition.
How contemptuous of you to find my premature ejaculation reassuring as to my fidelity.
Your horseback riding. I accuse you of cheating, and you go off to your sanctuary. You never told me you knew how to ride a horse.
Well, I'm a country boy. Of course I can ride.
But there are no horses here on the farm.
I'm not having an affair.
Then why can't you fuck me?
Fuck you.
Fuck me. That's another anomaly since your arrival in Texas. You no longer fuck me instinctively. You've forgotten how to glide inside my ass.
Don't hyperbolize. Intuitively, I still know what to do.
Yet you prefer not to. Which brings me back to the penetrating suspicion. You're fucking someone else.
So I have to fuck you in order to prove I'm not having an affair.
That's the visceral response I need.
To come inside your ass.
Express your love. Unless your love is a passive-aggressive commitment.
Well, that depends on your tightening ass.
Oh, you do remember.
Answer your goddamn phone.
He'll call back.
Who?
Vandenberg.
Oh, call him back.
I'll call him later.
Well, he normally doesn't call you when you're here.
It's probably nothing.
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 Well, that was an aggressive nothing. If it's really nothing,
Here he is.
well, he could be calling you about a play.
Could be.
My play.
Possible. But there are other plays in the pipeline that I'm producing.
Answer it.
Later.
Answer it.
No. We have a few things to discuss.
Fuck.
That's it.
Call him back.
Fuck me.
Well, your request seems like a necessity.
It's no longer a suggestion.
A rear-end ultimatum.
With well-placed insertions. You shouldn't be nervous.
Well, I'm not.
You've done it before. Many, many times in Europe, even though it offends your sexual sensibilities.
I'm not fond of pre-production.
Oh, the lube? The condoms? But these items are necessary for the orchestration, to obtain the pleasure from the rhythm of the insertion, the repeated pounding.
Yes.
Oh, baby. Your dick against my prostate.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, the size.
The size.
Your size.
Oh, always my size. Fuck my size. Not everybody wants my size inside of them.
Then they don't know what they're missing. Your size was a moment of illumination inside me the first time you fucked me. You remember Zurich?
Of course. It was the first time I fucked a man.
Which I found surprisingly chaste of you.
I remember the chocolates in the hotel room.
The room was lovely.
The room reminded me of another room I'd been in.
That happens.
It felt familiar.
We've shared so many rooms together.
Oh, not this room.
I see.
You weren't in this room.
Of course. The German.
And Lou was different.
You were being fucked.
And the demands.
Demands?
Expectations. That's what I should say to make the event seem less forceful, more loving, more caring. It was the first time for me to be
fucked.
I get your point.
I want to be exact to the facts.
But you wouldn't even call it a room.
You were with a German. You two must have been staying in a Hilton somewhere.
There was sunlight.
Sunlight? I hear the rooms are dark and deplorable.
The room was cramped and musty. I could hardly move, but there was sunlight in the inhabitable room. A beam of sunlight glistened off a blonde, hairy chest. How memories have an untimely way of rushing back. The air was thick. It was hard to breathe. I kept gasping for breath. Each time I heard the words, "I love you," reverberate inside my ears. There were tears, but not on my face. The tears were teardrops of sweat that fell onto the curve of my back. With each, the drops cascaded down my spine to form a puddle of additional lubricant. The promise of his love with my face down into a smelly blanket wasn't elusive or abusive as I thought it would be. I knew why I was there. In that prone position, it was for validation that I could be loved. Even if it was a white person, it was still love. I told myself, and I was taught never to disagree with a white person because a white man controls your future. You must go along to get along. And in that room, with my emotions tearing because of his thrustings, I accepted this as future until you flipped the script in Zurich and gave me the experience of equality, of fucking instead of being fucked. I want to fuck you. I miss fucking you. But being here, isolated, with my memories that are so ingrained, I've let this person who fucked you in Zurich slip away. Because I don't know how to live here any other way.
I've digested the indigestible story before. I understand the need to tell oneself all sorts of things to make the past acceptable, to justify our actions, to explain the miasma. But to use one's past to explain away betrayal.
Betrayal?
Betrayal. It's unconscionable. You don't ride alone.
I ride alone.
Bullshit. Where?
Where else? On #1, White James McGahey.
Alone?
Alone. I've ridden that range many times.
Alone.
But not then alone, but now. Alone.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
Polemically, your lie could be viewed as an intentional, forgotten thought. But you are still lying. Like the German, when he said he would leave his wife.
Put your damn phone on vibrate.
It's not my phone. It's your fucking phone.
Vanderberg.
Vandenberg?
He's calling me.
Probably to reach me.
But that's never happened before.
Don't answer it.
Why not?
He's a fucking horse-sized dick.
So is the German.
Toussaint hier, Lars Vertel et Vandenberg. Tell Vandenberg I'll call him back.
Well, when will you call him back?
After you ride me.
End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 6, living room. Present day. Moments later, January evening. Gerard is sitting on the chase dressed in the underwear and t-shirt from the previous scene. He is speaking into his iPhone.
No. Fucking no, Vandenberg. We spoke about this a week ago. Tell your assistant Lars to draw up the contract for the theater. There isn't anything further to discuss. My decision is final. Vandenberg? No. N.O. I'm producing #1 White James McGahey. And stop calling me about I love you, I don't care, disgust.
Gerard disconnects and picks up the script. I love you, I don't care, disgust, and throws it across the room. Gerard downs his glass of champagne as he picks up the empty bottle and walks into the kitchen area. Aaron Sr. is sitting at the table, drinking whiskey. Gerard turns and starts to walk back into the living room.
Want a drink? Talking to you. Do you want a drink?
Me?
Yeah, you. It's good whiskey.
I don't drink whiskey.
Or you rather drink piss.
It's no clear code.
Me look like fucking piss. And we don't drink piss in my house.
Your house?
Yeah, you're living in my house.
Your house.
My house. Boom.
Was that meant to frighten me?
Check the drawers. I made you jump.
I'm drunk.
Oh no, you sober as a heart attack.
You're not real.
Or you talking to me?
I'm not dead, am I?
Nah, you in white folks' heaven.
So, I'm still alive.
Yeah, but you living in colored folks' heaven.
Exactly where is that?
Great state of Texas.
Ah.
But in my house. My house. In my house is whiskey and water. That's well water though, not that city water. We ain't close enough to town to get that city water yet. City been talking about running a line down here since 1940, before the war came. War came, they stopped talking about it. War's over for 2 years, they talking about it again. They keep talking about it, talk. That's all they want to do when it comes to color. Come to people like to talk. People like you, like Mr. Daniel. Now he was a talker. Talk. Mr. Daniel, oh, he was a smooth talker. Nice looking white man. Like you. Talk his way into Minnie's drawers. Shit. Didn't take much talking to get inside there.
She fell in love.
You've been reading Minnie's papers.
I had them leather bound. I wanted to
Talk. Yeah, you spend too much time talking. Not enough time listening.
I know the story.
You don't know shit.
I know enough.
Sit your ass down.
You have a lot of residual anger.
I'm a colored man. I lived on anger. I survived on hate. Now, I have my reasons. I'm black and white reasons. Drink up. Cleanse the head. Make you feel when you can't feel. It's good whiskey. Store-bought. Help you see what you don't want to see. Clarity. That's what it's called. You need clarity, boy. And I'm here to help you understand the situation that you in.
Why are you concerned about my clarity? You don't like white people.
I hadn't crossed the path of white men who like me, so we even. Go ahead, drink. It won't kill you. Yeah, you got a sense of humor. Just like Mr. Daniel.
I'm not Mr. Daniel.
Oh, you're not his spitting image, but you're close. You're a white man, that's close enough.
It's just a script.
Oh, it's more than that. It's hard staring truth in the eye.
It's not the same.
Oh, it's the same. Except that this is tight. What makes you think it's different? What makes you think that you are immune to betrayal?
Betrayal?
Betrayal, boy. Betrayal. The walls in this house, they seeped in it. It's like mold after a house flood. Betrayal affects everything it touches. It grows. You don't see it. You don't hear it. It's a silent poison. And you know something's wrong. You feel it. The air, it has a different scent. The whiskey has a different taste. Even fucking feels different. You feel it, boy, and you felt it. I've been watching. Watching.
You've been watching?
Oh, no. I fuck women. I'm not like my grandson or my son-in-law Earl. If Earl wasn't fucking women or cows, he was fucking men. He gave Regina the syphilis. Now, I put the blame on Minnie for all that shit. She ain't had time for Regina when it made her fall for that white man. That's why my daughter ended up spreading her legs as fast as a jackrabbit, settling from a man who put his dick in every hole he could find. Nah, that's not why I watched. But I heard a few things. Heard some things that might be worth watching. I've seen the horses dick. But I don't watch that shit. And if you don't like me watching you get out my goddamn house. Ain't nothing for me to do but watch. I ain't busy. I don't need to get up in the morning to go to the field, so I watch and wait. I watch and wait for you to understand and figure out something for yourself, but maybe you ain't as smart of a white man as you make yourself out to be, even though you were talking. Oh, talk. Love on paper. Boy, that shit lasts forever. Those memories of love stay inside the one who wrote them down. That's a eulogy to the perfect love. Love that had no faults. As he was driving out of town with my money, lying about stopping by the courthouse to file some fucking papers. You can't defeat romantic love, but you can fuck it. You can fuck it. And I fucked it. I fucked it hard. I fucked it good. Fuck it to erase it, but I quit. Then he just closed her eyes. That's when I knew. I knew. Those closed eyes told me that no matter what I did, no matter how hard I fucked her, Mr. Daniel always be behind them closed eyes.
You can't compare my relationship with Aaron or his play to your relationship with Minnie and her journal. They are vastly dissimilar.
Similar.
Different.
A horse of a different color. Oh, my grandson's eyes must be open. Oh, closed.
Does it fucking matter?
Oh, your eyes are closed.
Go to hell.
We already there. Misery loves company.
It's not the
Oh,
same.
you keep saying that when you know it's true.
Aaron's play is a work of fiction.
Oh, his story came from somewhere.
You're good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
History doesn't repeat itself.
The colored folks that do. Because history don't change. It stays the same. Lincoln freed the slaves, but we still in bondage. We still suffer. We bound straight to get by. Generation after generation. Ain't nothing changed.
I'm not Mr. Daniel.
Don't keep telling yourself that, boy. You be driving out of town soon.
That's what you want.
Oh, you a smart cracker. You know how the story ends.
I doubt that you can recreate the exact ending.
Don't have to. Don't need to. Your doubt will do that for me. Doubt is a potent weapon. Plant that seed. Grows. Doubt feeds off uncertainty. Only when it's already there. And you already had doubt. It's music to my ears. I just have to sit back and watch and wait. And your doubt will do what I did.
We are thrust back into 1947. Scene 7, kitchen, November 1947. 4 months later, evening. Minnie is sitting at the table. She's experiencing labor pains. Aaron Sr. enters from the back door. He walks past Minnie.
Aaron,
I'm not hungry.
Aaron,
I said I'm not hungry.
there's water in the kitchen.
Well, clean it up. That's what you're here for.
It's my water, you fool.
Oh, how long ago?
2 hours.
Oh, well, clean it up.
Aaron, I gotta go. You gotta go get Cora Lee. Pick her up and bring her here.
Oh, the baby ain't due for another month.
I told you it was your baby.
Oh, we'll see when it comes. You could just be early.
What are you just standing there? Go get Cora Lee.
Well, can't you do this by yourself?
Fool, I'm having a baby, not baking an apple pie.
We need to talk about this.
We don't have time to talk.
Courtney got a big mouth. Be all over town by morning. Many enemies had a white baby.
All babies come out white at first. My grandfather was white.
But your pa is black as coal.
You're part Indian.
Well, I got black spots on my back and face to prove it. But that's not going to explain a white baby.
We don't know if this baby's gonna be white. The baby could be high yellow.
We don't need no good-haired child in this family with our nappy-headed children. Black folks going to notice that hair and start thinking, we didn't make that child.
Aaron, go get Cora Lee.
What are we going to tell the children?
What the hell are you asking me all these questions right now? Your ass should be having to talk about this a month ago about this shit. God damn it, Aaron. I'm having a goddamn baby. I need some fucking help. So go get your ass to down to Cora Lee.
Fuck this shit.
Aaron, do you want the baby to die?
Well, that would solve our problem.
I ain't killing my baby. Now get your ass down to Cora Lee.
Shut up. You will wake the children.
They're out for the night.
Medicine?
A little extra. You shouldn't think that way.
I'm human. It was a thought. About time I did some thinking for myself for once.
You don't have a choice.
Oh, yeah. You boxed me in. Let's go.
What are you doing?
I'm taking you to Cora Lee's.
What?
I'm taking your black ass down to Cora Lee's. I ain't have no white baby in my house. Can you walk or do I have to carry your ass? Damn, woman, you gonna break my hand.
Eric, take me to my room.
No, you going to Cora Lee's.
The baby's coming.
Well, slap your legs together and wait until I put you in the truck. And come on around back. If you want this baby, you having it at Cora Lee's.
I can't move any faster, Aaron. This baby is part of me now.
You're asking too much of me, Minnie.
I'm asking you to be a man and swallow your pride. We can make it work.
How? I can't fucking stand your black ass. How we gonna make it work? I built you a goddamn room in the back of the house so we don't have to see each other.
Where did you get that money?
Oh, you want to discuss that now? You didn't care when I was building it. You ain't in no hurry. You ain't got a fucking thing to do.
Aaron!
You want to know where I got the money?
Aaron, let's go.
No. We ain't finished our talk about the money.
Aaron, I'm not feeling good.
Well, I didn't borrow the money, if that's what you're wondering. Well, I didn't pick it from the trees either. It just kind of fell into my lap.
Stole it?
Oh, I ain't no thief. I earned it.
Legally?
Just like a white man.
What have you done? Ah!
It's his baby, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes, Aaron, yes.
What? You gonna tell me another lie?
Have you heard anything?
No.
Did you ask Mr. Bill?
I ain't no fool.
You think? You think?
Be anywhere. A lot of marshland around here.
What about the about the children?
Coming back. I don't want to see no white baby coming out your ass.
We are thrust back into the present. Scene 8, living room, present day. April, 3 months later, early morning. Aunt Regina enters. She turns on a small flashlight and tiptoes to Aaron III's desk. Aunt Regina rummages through stacks of paper, looking for Minnie's journal.
Where in the fuck?
Aunt Regina picks up a note from the desk. The light comes on. Minnie, sitting at the kitchen table, writing next to a leather pouch on top of the table. Minnie is not pregnant.
Regina, don't be cursing in my house.
Where could it be?
Where is your manners?
He left it upstairs.
It's not there.
Maybe.
It's not there either.
Where is it? Where is it? Good morning, Mama.
That's better. Now, go home.
What?
Go home.
Where is it?
I said go home. It's in the same place.
Little asshole.
Regina, get your ass out of here and go home.
I'm fine.
Girl, you ain't fine. You're scuttling around here like a thief in the night.
It's morning.
It's what?
It's morning, not night. I wouldn't have skulk if you'd left me the house.
You didn't deserve it. I need to remind you why?
The sun isn't up, Mama, so it's too early in the morning to go hang out the laundry, so don't start in on me. I need to know what's in your journal.
Regina, take your black ass home like I told you. You need to rest your mind. Trying to steal something that doesn't belong to you. If you want it, you would have it. You would have the journal. I have told you where it was.
You can't contradict my story.
What lies have you told Aaron you think I would contradict?
What's in the damn journal?
It ain't gonna help you get it back. Get the land back.
You may not believe me, Mama, but I'm doing all of this for Aaron. He deserves the land.
You're doing it for your selfish self. You're trying to clear your conscience. Redeem yourself, your lies, Lord, because your time is running out.
I'm fine.
You're not fine.
Mama, I want to leave him something.
I took care of that. You don't need nothing from you, especially no number 1 white James McGahey.
If Aaron would just wait.
Girl, you hired enough Chandler lawyers from Houston to Austin over the last 40 years to know you ain't gonna get no damn land back. No matter what Aaron writes, you're holding on to a dream. That fantasy about that oil money I told you, and I told you for years. Let it go. It's no 100 years acres of misery. It's caused more pain. Now, baby.
Don't call me that. I'm not your baby. I don't even know why I'm talking to you.
Seems you're doing more arguing than talking. But you wouldn't be talking to me if you were in your right mind.
I'm fine.
You ain't fine.
I'm fine.
Girl, you ain't fine.
I'm fine!
You ain't fine.
Did you write about me?
I wrote about many things.
Mom, I need you to listen to me for once. Is it in your journal?
Summertime
Listen to me, Mama.
and the living.
Listen to me!
Girl, I said, stop listening to you. The day you closed my casket was the best damn day of my life.
I enjoyed that day also.
Yeah, you sure did. You buried me in the damn white dress, knowing I wanted to be buried in a printed yellow daisy dress.
That was sweet. I didn't do anything wrong.
You just looked the other way.
I ain't asking you for forgiveness.
I handed it out. Now go home. Don't make me kick your ass out of my house.
This should be my house.
It would be if you hadn't turned your back on Aaron.
He was gonna do it anyway.
Like you.
He's that way. They start earlier when they're that way.
Jesus Christ, Regina. You started spreading your legs with boys and men at 13. I didn't see you kissing no girls because you weren't. That's foreign behavior.
I learned being a whore from you.
I didn't teach you the gospel of whoring.
You were down on your knees
You weren't supposed to see that. I forgot.
to give me my medicine. I thought you were praying when I came down the stairs, but you were receiving the white sacrament. You loved that white man from the day you died. You loved him so much there was no room inside your heart to love your own children, let alone my daddy. held your love back, no, from all of us, but mostly from me. I was starving for your love, for you to see me, but you were wrapped up in the memory of that man. If you'd shown me an ounce of love, or men you so disapproved of, I might not have needed to find love for those boys and men. But at least they loved me.
You were a child.
I wasn't a child.
You were a child having sex.
I wasn't a child. I wasn't a child. Like all black children, I wasn't a child. I was an adult. Your womb was the last safe, colorless place of my childhood. But once I entered this world, I stopped being a child because I'm black. Black, Mama. There was no childhood because I was born black. It doesn't exist because the world treats black children like adults. There were no opportunities for me as a black child to just pure, innocent, a child devoid of any sexuality. No. As a black child, I was expected to be prepared with an adult's knowledge of the body and understanding of its needs. There's something about the color of my skin that makes the world believe that I knew more. And as a black child, I'm to be served up, my body, my mind, my soul, without any regard that I was only a child.
You were born where you were born, and faced the future that you faced because you were black, no other reason.
Baldwin.
I taught you, Regina. We all know the world, but somehow we survived it. Don't look away when I'm talking to you. I ain't gonna argue with you because you know it's true. Being a black child is really never being a child. When a child can be lynched, the child is an adult. Still a child. You were a child pretending to be an adult, doing things you shouldn't be doing. And I said, don't look away. It's time to listen for once. I tried my best for you. I tried to keep you as a child as long as possible. But you rebelled, out of spite because you saw something you weren't supposed to see. You got pregnant at 13 to teach me a lesson. Thank God you lost the baby because a child raising a child wasn't what I wanted for your childhood. You were a black child who had the possibilities, but you destroyed them because you couldn't oversee in knowing that I loved a white man. I don't know that reason, but I pray to Jesus that if it wasn't because for you looking the other way about Aaron, that boy needed your protection. It was your innocent crush at first. Flirtation that a young boy has, it doesn't mean anything sometimes. Even when he's that way. Sometimes it does. That's when you put it to a stop. But no, you served him up. Mind, body, and soul. Sold Aaron like a slave on an auction block or acreage.
Does he know? Have you written it down?
What's in my journal is for Aaron to read. For him to know and write about.
So it's in your journal.
What's in my journal is what Aaron needs to know and write about.
Mama. Mama! Mama!
The sound of keys at the back door lock. Aunt Regina quickly exits. Gerard enters the back door carrying his removal suitcase and briefcase.
Honey, I took my Cialis at the airport gate in Paris. I hope you're commando today in your buttonfly jeans all sweaty and hot. That's the only good thing about Texas is your sweaty crotch. I can smell you now. I've been fantasizing about ripping open your jeans and going down.
You've got a nice side of personality.
What
I see why Aaron finds you somewhat attractive.
are you doing here?
I still have a key.
Didn't Aaron kick you out?
I wouldn't call it that. He just asked in a foul manner to remove my presence. He's never disrespected me like that before in this house.
Where is Aaron?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam?
Amsterdam!
Aaron III enters dressed in Armani. He sits down at the table. The action will be seamless and happen in real time between Amsterdam and the farmhouse.
Are you losing your hearing?
How do you know he's in Amsterdam?
There's a note for you somewhere.
You read his
Don't
note?
get all huffy with me. I ain't illiterate, just nosy. A producer left him a message on his phone.
I'm Stein Vandenberg.
Good voice of God.
Strange name.
Smith is a strange name to you when it's said with an accent.
I'm the president and CEO of Vandenberg Theatre Company. I own and operate several theatres throughout the continent, besides the Netherlands, France, Germany, Belgium, and Austria.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you again.
Aaron, the pleasure is all mine.
I like the sound of your voice.
It's the accent. My assistant Lars placed a discreet call to Aaron at the appropriate time when Gerard was in Paris and left the following message on his phone. Your husband will hurt your career if he produces #1 White James McGahey. You have another opportunity to become a produced playwright.
Anything wrong?
Yes.
The message was long enough to generate Aaron's curiosity to accept a car and a driver and a first-class round ticket from Houston to Amsterdam, but short enough to solidify intrigue and ensure a clandestine meeting. The rendezvous point was the restaurant Bordeaux on the 27th of April, Koningsdag. Oh, that's King's Day for those of you who don't speak Dutch. It's when the city of Amsterdam is overrun with intoxicated people wearing the color orange in honor of the king's birthday, where a secret meeting wouldn't necessarily be cloaked in secrecy.
Vandenberg envisions himself as the Joseph Papp of Europe.
Yes, Joseph Papp, born Joseph Perowski, June 22nd, 1921, died October 31st, 1991. The legendary American theatrical producer and director. He established what is known today as the Public Theater in Lower Manhattan. Papp said, "Don't tell me anything is impossible. Let's try it first." Papp was a visionary.
While Vandenberg is a true commercialist.
So there isn't anything wrong with generating a profit. However, my success is due to my ability to keep costs down.
And an appendage up. Vandenberg rallies in the art of artistic sexual seduction.
That's an unsubstantial rumor. It's just gossip, hearsay.
He doesn't seduce for a short-term gain.
No, my goal is long-term profitability by fresh, new talent. My objective is to light the creative flame, to catch the talent at the emerging stage when a production is crucial to launch a career.
He values their talent.
Their talents make me rich. I rarely lose money on my investments.
And faced with a possible loss,
I compensate by confiscating a fresh new talent.
You said you had a conversation with Gerard about my play, #1 White James McGahey.
I wouldn't call it a conversation. It was a polemic negotiation.
A meeting of the minds, you might say. Aaron, but Gerard wasn't focused. It happened 3 months ago, outside my office.
Vandenberg, you shouldn't have commissioned a report on Aaron in the first place.
You stopped taking my calls. You made me believe that Aaron was an amateur playwright. It wasn't until Lars was drawing up the contract for the theater that you requested that he informed me of the possibility that you had a husband and that he may have written other plays. That's why I commissioned the goddamn report. I need to know why you saw the need to deceive me while renting my theater.
He was my husband.
That's an excuse, not a reason. Gerard, you're too competent of a producer to be swayed by love. This is theater, not marriage counseling. When you have a commercial project, what's the #1 rule?
Bring it to Vandenberg.
Bring it to Vandenberg.
Bring it to Vandenberg. But Aaron's play is not commercial.
Bullshit. I love you. I don't care. Disgust is commercial.
I'm not producing that play.
That's why we're having this fucking diatribe. I have only Aaron's best interest at heart.
Ha! You don't have a heart. You have a balance sheet for a heart.
True, true. It pumps black ink instead of blood, but it beats to commercial talent. I see euros coming out of every orifice from productions of Aaron's I Love You play. It has sexual precociousness and racial infatuation all rolled into one.
But it's not your money.
It's my theater.
I'll go somewhere else.
You'll be in breach of your employment contract.
Is it the play you want?
Aaron has genuine talent.
Your Weinstein is showing.
Stunning. An attractive black man.
Of course. You have noticed that.
I was at the wedding.
My mistake.
I won't encroach, even though Aaron is a stunning black man.
You've said that.
Well, I wasn't sure you had heard me, and I wanted to hear the words again. Stunning. Lars, who is never wrong, says Aaron writes from the dark corners of his psyche and exposes his pain for the entire world to see. Beautiful and tragic. A winning combination for a black man. Gerard, you're married to a gold mine. He's going to be big. Big, I tell you. I'll light his flame of fame.
Is that a threat?
Your ego will douse that fire.
That's a warning.
What does Aaron want?
He wants his play, #1, White James McGahey, produced.
A slave motif?
It's set in 1947.
Is there a difference? Gerard, I know why you don't want I Love You play produced. I read it from cover to cover. Twice. It took my breath away. Lars even confessed that he sleeps with it underneath his pillow at night and grabs it whenever he needs to take.
Find post-nut clarity.
It's a powerful orgasm to read the climax of a new play. It's so refreshing. It's satisfying. But I imagine that it will be problematic for you to witness on your stage a testimonial to Aaron's love for another man. So don't let your ego cross the Rubicon and put your marriage in jeopardy. Gerard walked away.
You walked away.
I walked away.
Sweet Jesus, he walked away. Aaron, pull your head out of Gerard's ass. It should be evident to you why he walked away. You know that black and white men aren't equal when a decision has to be made.
Of course you'd go there.
I'll go where I like.
Aaron and I are equal.
Equal my ass. You're trying to control Aaron's fate, deciding his future, make him beholden to your success.
Can I interject?
No.
No.
I found Gerard's capriciousness, behavior, and sedentariness of not wanting to produce the I Love You play, not as a commentary on Aaron's writing abilities, but on the dynamics of their relationship. The dichotomy of a long-distance relationship is ripe with challenges, vulnerabilities, periods of abstinence. It's the constant separation that's an obstacle. The distance can be a dilemma. However, the distance shouldn't be measured in length. Instead, it should be measured in time.
Another lonely dick.
A lonely what?
Lonely dick.
My dick isn't lonely. But I was interested in having sex with Aaron.
Second number.
I'm not for sale.
Boy, black folks are always on the auction block. Your ego is as big as your ass to think you're different. White men don't want the talent inside our heads, they want the talent in between our legs.
I have on a few occasions.
Don't be modest.
Numerous
Countless.
times slept with creative talent.
I thought you said no encroachment.
I'm a man of my word, but I find that it has been a motivating factor to sign a contract. However, I wasn't sure if there was any value in this particular transaction. Sex doesn't determine value. It's who you're having sex with that determines the value. And going to bed with Aaron to acquire the play was a risk, a vulnerable risk that I wasn't willing to take. Aaron, I've been concerned about Gerard's focus on, or the lack of focus, His sabbatical was necessary because his artistic drive was nearly gone. However, your marriage was an unanticipated result of that time off. It was a beautiful wedding, but a quick marriage can create a distraction for someone who is not accustomed to choosing between his husband's happiness and his career. Gerard is not the correct person to advise you in this situation. He's not objective. He's protective of his ego. That's why Gerard doesn't want a production of your play, I Love You, I Don't Care, discussed.
Disgust.
No, disgust.
Oh, they sound the same.
It's different, but that's been explained already.
Well, not to me.
You see, Aaron, I believe that the majority of playwrights are capable of writing only two good plays. The one that creates the fame and the one that destroys it. The in-between plays that are written, well, the playwright is just trying to reclaim the fame. The light doesn't burn that long. You're 40, yeah? That is old for an emerging playwright. Even one who looks as young as you. I know. You don't look your age with your skin color. You look 10 years younger.
Vandenberg is one of those kind.
Vandenberg is not a racist because he said that.
You've been with my nephew for over 2 years. Your ears still don't hear the racism in that compliment. Does Vandenberg have to call Aaron a nigga as he ogles his skin color for you to hear how insulting those words are?
That word is offensive.
So what? Vandenberg said to Aaron, but you do it too. You're blind to objectification of Aaron because you mix it with the word love. You add water and bake, but it still all comes out as racism.
I don't objectify Aaron. I love him.
You don't know the difference.
Aaron, it's your choice as to which play you want produced.
You're being seduced.
I'm aware.
It's alluring.
It's seductive.
It's sexy.
It's sensual. My fondness for black ink. Aaron, it's an easy decision to make. It shouldn't take longer than it takes for you to sign your name to that contract. Have your attorney or the Dramatist Guild, even your husband, review the contract. It's standard. Tell Gerard it wasn't personal. I kept my word. No encroachment on his fondness for things black, but he shouldn't have broken the rule. When it's commercial, you bring it to Vandenberg. You bring it to Vandenberg.
What about my book?
It's a play.
A play.
A play. I've been writing a play.
A play, not a book. A play. A play.
How long have you known?
From the moment I stumble upon the closed box, I knew then. You were a talented writer. You never needed an MFA degree, or even me, to be a produced playwright. You were already there, and now you have it. You have what you want. Your first production.
Well, that wasn't all I wanted. You should know that from reading the opening of my play. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. Disgust. What I truly want more than a production. In gay relationships, there's a misconception about sexual roles.
That one man is more dominant than the other.
And that assumption is prevalent in gay interracial
That the
couples.
white man is more dominant.
That who takes the lead.
He's on top.
Not always.
The assumption is that equality doesn't exist in the relationship.
That the white man comes out, again, on top.
When the mood strikes me,
To be able to dance the tango.
you must be able to dance both roles.
You must see yourselves as equals.
You must believe that
That
you are in love.
Aaron III and Gerard stop dancing, and we are thrust back into 1947. Scene 9, kitchen, November 1947. 1 week later, morning. A plate of fresh baked cookies is on the table as Aaron Sr. places 2 bowls of grits on the table. Minnie enters disheveled, and her hair is unpressed. Aaron Sr. pours 2 cups of coffee. Minnie starts walking toward the back door. Aaron Sr. grabs Minnie's hand.
Sit down, Minnie. Come on, woman. I made grits. Miss Diane stopped by. She brought cookies. Now, I know she ain't baking because her talent ain't in the kitchen. I'm sorry, I forgot. You like butter in your grits. Go on, Minnie, eat. Coralie says she stopped by and check on you in a while. I'm in town today. I gotta go to the bank because Mr. Bill's gonna sell me 25 acres behind our farm. I've been talking to him about it for some time. I still work for him, but I've got some land of my own to work. It won't be #1 White James McGahey, but it'll be mine. I'm about me a few head of cows. Not too many. Start small. You understand me? Start small. I figure if I start small, no one will bother us. Leave us alone.
Was it a boy?
Minnie.
Was it a boy?
Yeah, I shouldn't be gone long. About an hour. But Coralie will be here.
He needs my milk.
Minnie, eat.
Was it a boy?
Yeah, a boy.
Was it?
It was.
And he's dead.
Still a boy.
Still born. Take me to his grave.
What?
Take me to his grave. I need to see it.
The grave.
I need to see my son.
Well, I don't have time today. I need to go by the bank. Now, eat up.
I'll ask Coralie.
And she don't have time either. You need to rest, Minnie.
I want to see my son.
No. You need to rest. Get better. Miss Diane asked when you be coming back to work. I told her next week. He's dead, Minnie. Visiting his grave won't bring him back.
You took my baby away from me.
Minnie, I did no such thing. He was dead, stillborn.
No, he wasn't dead. I heard him cry.
Minnie, you crazy. The baby was dead. You were crying. Not the baby. You heard yourself crying.
No, it wasn't. You took him.
People don't just go around taking babies.
Take me to his grave.
Minnie, you confused because of your grief. You know the baby's dead. It happens. You want the baby to be alive because of what you did. It's for the best. We can go on. I'm buying land. It ain't much, but it's something. I was thinking, maybe you could move back into our room. Now that there ain't a baby, I don't see the need for you to stay in that room. A man gets lonely for something warm in his bed. We might even try to have a baby.
Where's my baby?
Minnie.
Where's my baby?
Damn it, enough talk about the fucking baby. I told you.
You ain't raising no white baby. Where's my baby?
Where he belongs.
Sweet Jesus, you killed my baby. Don't touch me.
Now, Minnie, I ain't killed no baby. I couldn't kill a baby, even if the baby was white. You might not believe me, but I didn't harm that baby. I'm a good man. You gave him life, but you can't give him a life. Being colored, he got no life. He got no chance. Meaning what I did was right. I gave your baby a chance. I gave him life.
Everlasting. Everlasting.
We are thrust back into the present. Scene 10, living room. Present day, 3 weeks later, late afternoon. Aunt Regina is dressed in her beige uniform, which is an ill-fitting white dress. She is pacing back and forth in the living area. Gerard enters through the back door wearing a straw cowboy hat. Aunt Regina doesn't recognize Gerard in the cowboy hat.
What the fuck?
Mommy's upstairs dressing.
Ah,
You need to be quick.
What?
I don't want Mama to know you here.
Regina?
It's about the boy.
Regina?
Shh. You can't. You ain't here to talk. You're here to listen.
Aaron?
Shh. Mr. Vance, that boy ain't here. Take off your hat in the house. I'll raise you better. This ain't a moment.
Regina?
Keep your voice down. Wait, Mama. Sit, Mr. Vance. Sit. Don't make me ask you again.
Aaron?
He ain't here. You're a 40-year-old man acting like a lovesick puppy. You ought to be ashamed of yourself taking advantage of that boy. Kept out your tongue. I saw you behind the barn, kissing him. Don't deny it. He's 14 years old.
Huh?
14, I ought to know.
No.
I know what I saw. It ain't the first time. I thought about calling the sheriff on your ass, but what good would that do? Nothing. Nothing, not a damn thing. You'll get off stuff. Just like what happened the other day at the Rodney King trial. Nothing happened to you white people. The law don't touch you, and ain't nobody gonna ride for that boy. Shh. I ain't finished. He's in love with you, Mr. Vance, and that's wrong. It's wrong, but you can't make it right. It ain't like Aaron didn't want it to happen. The boy is that way. You know, Mr. Vance, it ain't your fault. He probably came on to you. He's misunderstood your kindness. Because you've been kind to that boy. He has to come sometimes being that way. He might as well start now, get used to it, adjust to that life. But we need compensation. Gratitude for silence. Appreciation for looking the other way. It won't cost you a penny. It's something that already belongs to me. Number one, white Jane McGahey. What? What are you doing here? Speak up! Did your baby mother drop you off? If she had half a mind to call me before dropping you, I can't take up Mama and you at the same time. I'll call her up right now and tell her I think too lazy ass bitch. Aaron, I'm talking to you. David boy, don't you stand there like molasses. Go look after your grandma. She's probably trying to get out the bed. She'll get her goddamn but she's not getting. Wait. Where your manners? Aaron, you know Mr. Vance, my boss. Shake his hand. Come on, don't be shy. Aaron, shake his hand. Shake Mr. Vance's hand. I don't know what's got into you, boy. Acting this way, you weren't raised to be disrespectful to white people. Damn it. Mama, get back in the bed. Mr. Vance, you ought to leave. We can finish our conversation later. Aaron, I saw you behind the bar. Come here. Come here. What are you crying about? Unless it was more than a kiss. It was more than a kiss. Stop your crying and don't you tell your grandma. God damn it, Mom, if you break your hip, you deserve it. You need to get your ass back in the bed.
Blonde, blue eyes, hairy chest, garçon tête. Aaron's reason for being with me.
We are thrust back into 1948. Scene 11, kitchen. May 1948, 6 months later, late afternoon. Minnie is at the table, writing furiously dressed in her printed dress with yellow daisies. The leather pouch and a bag of groceries are on the table. The sound of a truck door opens. Minnie takes her papers, places the papers in a leather pouch, and puts the leather pouch underneath the tapestry cover. The sound of a truck door slams shut. She tacks the tapestry cover back to the chair, and one of the tacks falls on the floor. Aaron Sr. enters the back door.
You're home early.
I had business in town.
You've been doing a lot lately.
It's business.
What kind of business?
Well, don't worry your head over my business. Where's the children?
They're at Fort Lee's.
You all gussied up.
Miss Diane drove into Baytown today.
You ain't tell me you be in Baytown.
I didn't know I was going. Miss Daisy's having another dinner party for Mayor Jenkins' campaign. I'm trying to impress Miss Robinson with some fancy food, so she wanted me to shop at the new supermarket.
Yeah, you should have told me.
What's wrong with me going into Baytown?
Well, you know, the city of Baytown don't like colors.
I was with Miss Diane. No one's gonna bother her.
You shouldn't have gone into Baytown. That's all I'm saying. It don't matter if you're with her or not. You're still colored.
Things are changing. Look at Jackie Robinson.
That's just one Negro in the field throwing a white ball instead of picking it.
The Army.
Well, the fighting guy next to white boys, well, I don't call that much of a change. To me, it's more like an improvement.
Went to Win Garden.
What?
Went to Win Garden, the new supermarket.
Well, that's where you bought all this stuff from.
I couldn't buy it. Miss Diane bought it for me. I could shop for her, but I couldn't buy nothing.
No colored section. Well, how the maid's gonna shop there if there's no colored section?
They'll put one in.
Well, that's not change.
Not yet, but it will. I have to believe it'll change.
Well, I thought you learned to stop dreaming.
You can't take it away from me.
I'm giving you more than I've taken.
You still took.
It was mine to take. If you don't like that, you can leave. I ain't stopping. Go on, go.
I saw him.
A family reunion at the wine garden. How you look?
Like his father, but has my eyes.
Green. He also has your hands. And he is a beautiful white baby. Too white to keep, but white enough to sell.
That's where you got all that money for the land you've been buying.
Well, it's not like I was going to teach him how to work the fields. A boy like that should be a boss. Raised by a boss man. Lincoln's family been passing for white for over 20 years. Well, that's why they moved to Baytown. Gerald Lagan's a good man. Good man. Married a pretty barren white gal. Couldn't give him no son. Mr. Bill said that he wanted a son. Mr. Gerald's going to teach your boy how to be a good white man. He's talking about them moving up north to Chicago. That's a good thing. A good thing. What's this?
It's nothing.
Where it come from? If one of the children has stepped on this,
Well, they haven't. Put it on the table. I'll deal with it later.
no, I'll throw it away. I don't want the children stepped on.
You don't give a damn about the children. You sold my child.
You were gonna shame me. Now that's the price of fucking a white man. But you should be happy because your son got what you want. Land. It's not #1 James McGahey, but he bought the land around his farmhouse and it's going to be a nice sized farm. 25 acres so far. But I got my eyes on another 20 acres, a backwoods near Corey Lee along the bayou to graze cows. I don't want no white folks knowing what I got.
Is Beth also another price?
You still alive.
You killed Daniel. Oh my, you killed a man.
I killed an animal who got into my pasture, who stole from me. A white man stole from me, and I wasn't going to let that happen to me again.
Bill lynched you.
Oh, I did Mr. Bill a favor. Ain't nobody looking for Mr. Daniel.
You know better than they are.
I'm a man. And all men are created equal. So's their evil. I ain't trying to be no different. I'm being a man. A man you never loved. I understand that. You never saw me as a man. You saw my fear. You couldn't love a man that had fear. To you, I wasn't a man. It wasn't Mr. Daniel it wasn't that Mr. Daniel was a better man or that he was a white man. That wasn't the reason why you loved him. He had no fear. A white man don't have to have fear. How could he? He owns the world. Even if he don't, he believes he do. Now I own the world. It wasn't hard to learn. It's taking a man's life. I'm hungry. I'm in the mood for fried chicken. I'm going to go out to the hen house and fetch one. You better put this tap up underneath that chair again. Because we don't want the children stepping on it or finding out about that shit you've been writing.
Oh, Lord. I thought you were a merciful and loving God who forgave more than you punished. You took away my child, placed it in a world that separated us by color. I only have a memory. Secondhand, my baby was snatched away from me. How cruel of you. God, take him from me, knowing about his father, robbing me of a new life. You are cruel. You do punish. You let the noise of society tell Daniel and me that it was wrong to love each other, while the jump beats of our hearts showed us that it was right. Our love came together at the moment when the world was changing, but not fast enough. Because it's still a crime to love someone of a different color. Someday it might not matter. Someday no one will care. Until then, there's no place safe to express my love for Daniel, except here on these pages. Beyond these pages, I have to forget. I have to forget.
Minnie stops writing and exits as we are thrust back into the present. Scene 12, kitchen, present day, 1 month later, early morning, 5 a.m. Aaron III enters rolling his Remola suitcase. He looks at Minnie's journal on the table as Minnie enters wearing her printed dress with yellow daisies.
You're leaving.
Grandma, you scared the crap out of me.
You're leaving.
Yes.
For good?
Well, I can't live here anymore.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, there's no reason to be.
You finished your play.
I finished our play. You'll be famous.
I can handle the fame. So will you.
No. Number one, White James McGahey is not the type of play that creates fame.
You still can change your mind and sign the Vandenberg contract.
I thought about it, but
you'll betray Gerard. You can't do that, can you? You can't sell this farm.
well, I don't need your permission.
This farm is your legacy. You can't wipe away the memories of this place for sale sign on the land or on your heart. Your love for Mr. Vance is something you can't forget. It was wrong, but I know why you love Gerard.
Possible.
Likely.
Inadvertently.
Consequently, Aaron, you chose to love Gerard, but you want to understand why you love him. But there's no explanation on why we fall in love. Attraction is unexplainable. And love, well, love is something magical when it happens. You don't have to forget. No one is stopping you. There's no law now where it says you can't love Gerard. You don't need a justification to love him. Accept that and believe in your love. Don't let a memory rob you of that. Love him. Love him and let him love you. Do you think anything else under heaven really matters?
Giovanni's room.
You read that book at this table.
I couldn't read it in front of my father.
Aaron Jr. couldn't comprehend the nuance and substance of Baldwin.
Look who's talking all highfalutin.
You ain't too big for me to spank your black ass, but you better move on. It's a 2-hour drive to the airport.
I've always hated this moment.
We'll be back.
I'm not so sure, Grandma. I'm not so sure. There's no reason to come back.
Regina ain't gonna be home forever. You enjoyed that, but you gotta come back and say goodbye.
Only to spread her ashes over the one thing she ever loved. Number one, James McGahey.
No, you'll want to come back to this room to remember where you found love.
Aaron, the driver has been waiting for you.
I need a minute.
It was never about the German. The German was only the symptom, not the cause. But I was jealous of that symptom when I should have been angry at the cause. I was jealous of a love I couldn't understand.
It's a love no one understands unless you've been in that situation. You'll never understand. It's a mystery, but it's not love.
Aaron, you forgot something.
Someday it might not matter. Someday no one will care. Until then, there's no safe place to express my love for Daniel.
Grandma, there is for me. There is for me.
Aaron!
I'm coming, Gerard.